Hey, William Miller here, author of Noble Man. I want to talk to you today about a dirty word in the realm of fiction and writing, and that is plot outlines. A friend of mine recently confided in me that he had begun using my outlining method for his next novel, and that delighted me. Many authors, especially fiction authors, are really enamored with the idea, with this romantic ideal of writing intuitively, where you just sit down in front of the keyboard and you allow the muse to move and you just write whatever you're going to write and you allow the writing to sort of sweep you away and go where it's going to go. And those same authors view outlining very critically. They say that, it robs the writing of its creativity and its spontaneity. I really believe nothing could be further from the truth. Um, However, I will say this: if you've been using a method, if you've been an intuitive writer for a while now, say 2, 3 years, maybe even more. A lot of authors I know, they've been an intuitive writer, a pantser, if you will, for years, 7, 8, a decade or more, and they don't have anything to show for it. And if that's you, if you've been an intuitive writer and you've been writing for years and you've got a hard drive full of half finished manuscripts and false starts, the method you're using is not working for you, right? Maybe you aren't actually an intuitive writer. And I say that as an intuitive writer. Okay, I don't want you to think that I'm one of these guys who's a die-hard plotter and that's how it works for me, and so I'm telling you that's how you have to do it. Here's a dirty little secret. My second book, The Noble Vengeance, it was a bestseller. I didn't plot it, right? I just sat down and I went for it. Before I wrote the Jake Noble series, I worked for a company called Delight Games, making choose your own adventure books. I did 4 books for Delight Games, and I didn't plot any of them. I wrote them all intuitively. So by nature, I'm an intuitive writer. However, I realized quickly that if I was going to make my living at this, if I was going to pay the bills with my fiction, I had to produce books quickly and steadily, and I had to make good books as well. Um, and that required me to become a plotter. And it was work. Making that transition was work. It's, plotting is a skill that you're going to have to work at just like anything else. But look at it from a business perspective. I'm not going to be the guy who's going to, tell you everything's going to be fine and just follow your heart and all of that. I'm going to be the guy who's going to give you some hard truths, okay? Um, if you want to be an author, if you want to make your living as a novelist, you are going to have to produce books routinely, right? You're going to have to produce a book every year. If you've spent the last decade as a as an intuitive author, as a pantser, and you haven't produced any books, the method you're using is not working. And if you want to be a professional author, you're going to have to change up your method. You're going to have to try something else. And so my suggestion to you would be try plotting, and don't don't give it a half-hearted attempt and then say, oh, it doesn't work for me. I say that because I've met so many pantsers who've been working at it for 7 years. They've got nothing to show for it. And I say, well, have you ever tried plotting? And they say, oh, no, 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 that doesn't work for me. I tried it once, it doesn't work. And what they really mean is they sat down in front of a keyboard for all of 5 minutes, and because a plot outline did not spring fully formed onto the page, they decided that's not for me, it's not going to work, I got to go back to the old way of doing things. That's BS. All right, you're only lying to yourself. My challenge to you is, if you're a pantser, if you're an intuitive writer, and you've been doing it for several years now, and you got nothing to show for it, you've got nothing to lose, I want you to spend the next year, I want you to spend 2023 as a plotter. Okay? What do you have to lose? You don't have any novels. You haven't actually completed a novel yet. You might actually complete a novel if you sit down, create a plot outline, and then follow it. So spend 2023 as a plotter. If you get to the end of the year and you still don't have a novel written, hey, you gave it a try, you didn't lose anything. Go back to the old way of doing it, and hopefully one day the stars will align for you and you'll write that great American novel. But at least you'll be able to say that you gave it a try, and really give it a try. Like I said, it's a skill. It's a skill that takes practice. So I hope this helped you out. Let me know your thoughts and comments below, and I'll try and respond to those. I'll put a link to my outlining method, and there are guys like Derek Murphy over at Creative Indie who have great free materials on how to do plot outlines. James Patterson has a fantastic course on how to do outlines. There's a lot of resources out there. I hope this works for you. I hope it helps you out. I'm William Miller, and I'll see you next time.